Most people live their entire lives without realizing they're collapsing wave functions with every thought. Every moment of consciousness creates a measurement, an observation that crystallizes one possibility from an infinite sea of potential. The universe does not present you with a fixed reality. It offers you a field of probabilities, and your awareness acts as the selector, the decisive force that brings one timeline into being while allowing countless others to fade into the quantum foam of what could have been. This is not philosophy. This is the fundamental architecture of existence itself. The ancient mystics spoke of it in the language of spirit. Modern physicists describe it in the language of mathematics. Both arrive at the same conclusion. Shell na sanrala. They are entangled, woven together at a level so deep that the act of observation literally constructs the fabric of what you experience. The double-slit experiment demonstrated this conclusively. The electron exists in superposition in multiple states simultaneously until the moment consciousness observes it. Then, and only then, does it choose a definite position. Your life operates on the same Everything you see around you began as something invisible. Every solid object, every relationship, every circumstance emerged from the quantum field as a probability wave before it materialized into form. The chair you sit on, the walls around you, the device displaying these words, all of it existed first as potential, as vibrational information in the zero-point field. Something had to collapse that potential into actuality. That something was consciousness itself. This brings us to what can be called the quantum seed. The quantum seed is not a metaphor. It is the initial projection of intention into the field of all possibilities. When you hold a vision, when you sustain a specific frequency of thought and emotion, you plant information into the substrate of reality. This information begins to organize energy around it. It creates what physicists call a standing wave pattern, a stable configuration that attracts similar frequencies and repels dissonant ones. The seed does not grow through force. It grows through resonance. Most people approach manifestation like they are placing an order with the universe, then waiting passively for delivery. This misunderstands the entire mechanism. The quantum field does not respond to your words. It does not respond to your wishes or your desperation. It responds exclusively to your state of being, to the electromagnetic signature you broadcast through the coherence of your thoughts and feelings. You cannot think abundance while feeling scarcity and expect the field to ignore the contradiction. The field reads frequency, not narrative. This is where the majority of manifestation attempts collapse before they ever gain momentum. The individual holds an image of what they desire, but their emotional body remains anchored in the frequency of lack, of not having, of waiting for something external to change their internal state. This creates interference. The desired outcome exists as one probability wave, but the emotional state broadcasts a conflicting signal, effectively canceling out the coherent pattern needed for materialization. The shift happens when you grasp a single truth. Manifestation is not about bringing something toward you. It is about becoming the frequency of the reality you wish to experience. The thing you desire already exists in the quantum field as a potential. It exists right now, in this moment, vibrating at a specific frequency. Your task is not to create it. Your task is to match its frequency so completely that you and it occupy the same probability space. When your vibration aligns with the vibration of the desired reality, the wave function collapses in your favor. The potential becomes actual. This requires a fundamental reorientation of how you engage with desire itself. Instead of focusing on the absence of what you want, you must generate the feeling of already having it. Not as pretense, not as visualization divorced from genuine emotion, but as an authentic state of being. The heart generates an electromagnetic field thousands of times stronger than the brain. When the heart and mind achieve coherence, when thought and feeling align in the same direction, you become a powerful electromagnetic broadcaster. You emit a signal into the field that is clear, strong, and unambiguous. The quantum field responds to this coherence immediately, not because the field does not operate on human timelines or moral judgments. It operates on vibrational matching. It is a mirror reflecting back to you the exact frequency you emit. If you emit confusion, you receive confused circumstances. If you emit clarity and the feeling tone of your desire fulfilled, the field begins arranging particles, events, people, and opportunities to match that frequency. This is why feeling precedes form. Always. Not when you have proven yourself. The emotion is the magnetic force. Immediately. The thought provides direction, but emotion provides the power. Without the emotional component, your thoughts remain abstract, powerless to influence the quantum field in any meaningful way. The thought says, what? The emotion says, how much you mean it. The field measures your emotional intensity to determine the strength of the probability wave you are generating. Understanding this mechanism changes everything. It means you stop waiting for external conditions to improve before you allow yourself to feel good. You reverse the equation. You generate the feeling first, independent of current circumstances, and the circumstances rearrange themselves to match the feeling. This sounds paradoxical to the rational mind, because the rational mind has been conditioned to believe that feeling follows from external events. But quantum mechanics reveals the opposite. The external event is the effect. The internal state is the cause. So the practice becomes simple in concept, though it requires discipline in execution. You identify the reality you wish to experience. You ask yourself, not what it looks like, but what it feels like. What is the emotional signature of that reality? Is it peace? Is it freedom? Is it creative flow? Is it connection? You locate that feeling and you cultivate it now, in this present moment, regardless of what your senses tell you about your current situation. This is the true meaning of living from the end. You do not wait for the end result to feel the way you will feel when it arrives. You embody that feeling now, and in doing so, you send a signal into the quantum field that says, this is my frequency. The field, which is impersonal and infinitely responsive, begins the process of matching your external reality to your internal frequency. Particles arrange, synchronicities occur, doors open where there were walls. People appear with exactly what you need. Opportunities manifest that were invisible from your previous frequency. None of this requires struggle. In fact, struggle is the surest sign that you are operating from misalignment. When you are truly vibrating at the frequency of your desired reality, action becomes effortless. You feel pulled rather than pushed. Inspiration replaces motivation. You move because the movement feels natural, not because you are forcing yourself toward a distant goal. The goal is already achieved in consciousness, and physical reality is simply catching up to the decision you made in the quantum field. This is not magical thinking. This is physics applied to the domain of human experience. Every technology you use operates on these principles. Radio waves exist all around you at every moment. You do not create them when you turn on a radio. You tune into a frequency that already exists. Your consciousness works the same way. All possible realities exist simultaneously as probability waves in the quantum field. Your awareness is the tuning mechanism, where you place your sustained attention, combined with the coherent emotion you generate, determines which channel of reality you experience. The implications of this are staggering. It means you are not a victim of circumstance. You are not powerless in the face of external conditions. You are the observer collapsing the wave function. You are the consciousness selecting which probability becomes your lived experience. Every moment offers you this power, this choice. Most people unconsciously choose the same thoughts, the same emotions, the same reactions day after day, and then wonder why their reality never changes. They are broadcasting the same frequency on repeat and receiving the same reflection from the field. Breaking this cycle requires awareness first, then deliberate choice. You must catch yourself in the habitual patterns of thought and emotion that maintain your current reality. You must observe them without judgment, recognizing them as learned responses rather than absolute truths. Then you must make the conscious decision to shift your frequency. This is not done through affirmation alone, though affirmation can support the process. It is done through embodiment, through breathing into the feeling of the desired state, through allowing that frequency to saturate your cells, your nervous system, your entire energetic field. When this frequency becomes your default state, when you no longer need to remind yourself to feel it, because it has become who you are, the transformation in your external reality becomes inevitable. The quantum field must reflect your frequency back to you. It has no choice. It is law, not human law, which can be broken or negotiated. Universal law, which operates with absolute precision at every level of existence, from the subatomic to the cosmic. You are not learning to manipulate reality. You are learning to align with how reality actually works. You are learning to cooperate with the fundamental forces that govern manifestation at the quantum level. The mystics called it faith. The physicists call it quantum collapse. Different languages pointing to the same mechanism. Consciousness shapes reality through sustained, coherent focus. The invitation is not to believe this blindly. The invitation is to test it, to become the experiment, to choose one area of your life and commit to shifting your frequency around it. Not through force or desperation, but through the calm, certain generation of the feeling that accompanies the fulfilled desire. Hold that frequency with the same consistency you hold your current beliefs about limitation. Then observe what happens. Watch how the field responds. Notice the synchronicities, the opportunities, the shifts in circumstance that arise when you become a stable, coherent broadcaster of a new frequency. This is your power. Not power over others, not power to control external events through will alone, but power to select your reality from the infinite possibilities available in the quantum field. At every moment, you're already doing this. You have always been doing this. The question is whether you will do it consciously or unconsciously, whether you will choose your frequency deliberately or allow it to be chosen for you by habit, by conditioning, by the collective agreement about what is possible. The quantum field waits for your decision. It holds every version of your life in superposition, ready to collapse into form the moment your consciousness provides a clear, sustained signal. You are the observer. You are the chooser. You are the one collapsing the wave function. Choose with awareness. Choose with feeling. Choose from the end. The reality you seek is already here, vibrating at a frequency you can access right now. Become that frequency and watch your world transform to match it.